In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the alternator on this Ford Excursion with a 6.8 liter V10 engine. It sits right at the top of your engine, so let's get started. Let's disconnect the negative battery terminal. If you move this strap, it's going to be this one closest to the fender. Typically, you would need an 8mm wrench to undo the mounting nut. For me, I have to hold the head of the bolt that is in here and remove the mounting nut with a 10mm wrench. Whatever size yours is, use that and loosen it up. And now you can pull the battery terminal right off. Set that aside to where it can't bounce back and make connection. Now reaching in from the top, use a 1/2-inch drive ratchet or breaker bar. Stick it right on the end of the tensioner, which is between the fan and the engine. You're going to want to make sure that that's actually seated in there so you can put some pressure on it. And now turn clockwise as you're looking at the engine, or press down if you're from the top, and remove the belt from anything that you can slip it off of so that we can release tension off the tensioner. Gently release tension. There we go. Remove your tool. Let's remove the rest of the belt now. Take it off of all the pulleys. To get it off the AC, you're going to have to sneak your hand down here and pull it off of the compressor. But then it actually comes out between the tensioner and the idler pulley. Okay, set that aside. Now with the negative battery terminal disconnected, we can unhook the main power wire off the starter. So on the back side, peel this boot away, push it out of the way, and you'll see a 10mm mounting nut clamping on this main power cable. Use a socket or a wrench, break it free. This should not be very tight to begin with. Once you remove it, unthread it, and just make sure you don't drop it down there. Now you can pull this cable off. Check for corrosion. Usually they corrode, but this one looks very clean, so that's great. If yours has corrosion on it, you're going to want to sand it down so it can make a clean connection. Now there's a couple more electrical connectors here that we have to unplug. One is this small one. Stick a pocket screwdriver down here and pry this tab out as you pull up, and then do the same thing on this big one, except going the other way. Just like that. This cable, or the harness, is attached with a retainer to this bolt, so we'll flip that over. Now we have to remove these 3 fasteners that hold on the bracket onto the alternator. They're all 10mm in size. For this, you'll need a deep socket. Pull this bracket aside. And now there are 2 10mm bolts on the front of the alternator. Let's break these free and remove them. There's another one of these bolts on the other side. The water pump pulley is going to be slightly in the way for this one. And with that bolt out, there's the alternator. Grab your new alternator, slide it down into position, and let's line up the 2 bolts that mounted on the engine. You have to hold it while you put these in, and don't tighten any until they're all in. All right. Let's get these two a little bit closer, and then we'll put that top bracket in place. Line this bracket up. Has a little bit of an adjustment to it. And put the 3 mounting bolts back on. Snug these up. Just double check them, make sure they're tight. Let's tighten these top ones to 89 inch-pounds. There we go. They just have to be snug. And the 2 bottom ones to 18 foot-pounds. Now let's plug in our wiring, bring it over, reconnect the 2 plugs, make sure all of these click and lock in place, and finally, the main power cable, peel this boot away. Once again, ensure that there is no corrosion so you can get a clean contact. Put that on and start on the mounting nut. When you snug this, just give it a little bit extra, about 1/8 of a turn after it bottoms out. That's plenty. You definitely don't want to break the stud internally in the alternator. Slide this over, cover up the connection, and resecure the wiring harness. Let's reinstall the belt. You'll see a diagram on the screen of how to route it. You want to feed it between the idler and the tensioner first around the AC compressor. And once you get it down there, you'll actually have to stick your hand in there and loop it around. It's going to kind of naturally want to fall around that AC compressor. Just double check it visually to make sure it's actually on there. And then I like to take the top of the belt and hold it while I feed the rest of the belt down underneath the crank and around the tensioner, of course. At the same time, I'm going to loop it around the water pump. And of course, I have to route it around that harmonic balancer crank pulley. Just like that. And then grab it from the other side and pull it around. I don't want to keep falling off of other pulleys. That's unfortunately normal. All right, that just seated on there. It's still on the AC compressor. So now the last, well, second to last pulley is going to be the power steering pump, which is on the right side as you're looking at the front of the engine, all the way down. Don't put it on the alternator yet, because otherwise you won't be able to pull it over the tensioner. Just hold it at the top so it doesn't fall down. Okay, so that's on the power steering. Let's remove tension off the tensioner, put it up on the alternator. Let's get your 1/2 inch drive tool in the tensioner release tension, pull it down, or push it down, I should say. Slip this over the alternator. Before you let go of this and remove your tool, make sure the belt is perfectly centered on all of the pulleys, especially the ribbed ones, because if one rib is off, it's going to do damage to the belt. It could even cut it, and then it'll go flying, and you definitely want to avoid that. This all looks great for me, so let's move along. Now let's connect the negative battery terminal, put it back over the post on the battery, and snug this up. Just give it a couple turns after it starts making contact, and as long as you can't spin this around, you're good to go. That's plenty tight. You don't want to stretch out the battery terminal. There you have it.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.